sit with me, not as a king, not as a warrior, but as a man who has buried friends, lost battles, tasted victory, and learned that none of it belongs to him. You look at men like me and you see strength, discipline, control. But understand this clearly. Strength is not forged in comfort, and control is not what you think it is. You do not control outcomes, you control your soul. When I stood on the battlefield, I did not command the wind, nor the arrows, nor the hearts of men. I commanded only myself, my intention, my restraint, my obedience to Allah. That is where power begins. There is a deception that weakens man. It tells you that if you plan enough, if you act with precision, if you push harder than the next man, you will bend the world to your will. I have seen empires believe this. I have watched them fall. Islam teaches you something sharper than that illusion. You act with excellence and you surrender the result. This is not defeat. This is mastery. Tie your camel and trust in Allah. This is the discipline most men avoid. They want certainty, they want guarantees, but there are none. There is only effort and there is surrender. And the man who understands this cannot be shaken. I remember a moment after a victory. Men celebrated. They spoke of glory, of conquest, of what had been gained. But they knew something they did not yet understand. Victory is a test. Defeat is a test. Ease is a test. Hardship is a test. And most men fail both. When they are given ease, they become soft. When they are given hardship, they become bitter. But the one who walks the straight path remains the same. Steady, measured, intentional. This is sabr. Not the patience of waiting, but the patience of endurance, the patience of restraint, the patience of continuing forward when everything within you demands you stop. I have seen men lose composure over words, over insults, over matters that carry no weight in the sight of Allah. They call it pride. I call it weakness. The strong man is not the one who overpowers another. The strong man is the one who controls himself when anger rises. This is where most battles are lost, not on the field, within the chest. If you cannot govern your own nafs, your own soul, then no title, no wealth, no position will make you powerful. Discipline begins with intention. In our tradition, actions are judged by intentions. This is not poetry, this is law. Two men can stand side by side, perform the same act, and one rises while the other falls. Why? Because one seeks the pleasure of Allah, and the other seeks the approval of people. Ask yourself honestly, who are you performing for? Because if you are living for the eyes of others, you will always be restless. But if you live for Allah, your heart becomes anchored. You become difficult to move. And then there is time. You believe you have more of it. I once sat with a man near the end of his life. His strength had left him, but his clarity remained. He did not speak of what he gained. He spoke of what he delayed, what he ignored, what he thought he would return to. You will not return to it. Time is not something you store, it is something you spend. Every day you are either investing it in what matters, or you are wasting it on what will not follow you beyond the grave. So I ask you now, what are you doing with your time? Are you disciplining your soul, or are you feeding your distractions? Because the dunya will always offer you comfort, ease, escape, but it will not offer you peace. Peace is earned through restraint, through remembrance, through aligning your will with what is right, not what is easy. This is the path of the believer, and it is the path of the disciplined mind. You will fall, you will struggle, you will lose focus. That is the nature of man. But the difference is not in fall, it is in returning. Return to your intention, return to your as-salah, return to your purpose, again and again, until your heart becomes firm. I was not made by victory, I was shaped by returning. And if you understand that, then you understand this. The greatest conquest is not land, it is the conquest of the self. What does true strength look like? We explore Stoic discipline through the lens of Islamic teaching, guided by the voice of Salahuddin. This is not about motivation. This is about mastery of the self. Learn how intention, patience, trust in Allah, and control over the nafs shape a man who cannot be shaken by victory or defeat. If you are serious about becoming disciplined, grounded, and purposeful, this message is for you. Subscribe for more content that builds strength from within. Share this with a man who needs direction. And today, take control of one thing you've been avoiding. Life is being spent, whether you realize it or not.